Okay, everybody. Good morning. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Here we go. One trip today, and we're going low tech today, so get ready. It's not going to be the clearest video, but Starlink is on the way. Okay. Starlink is on the way. I'll give you an update in a minute. I think I'm gonna probably will talk from here to Westminster, but I know it's gonna break up. So I won't go into any long stories. So it doesn't interfere with the flow. You know what I'm saying? This coffee has a chocolate flavor to it. I think I might have gotten the wrong coffee this morning. That's all right. All right, what are we today? 38 degrees here in Hampstead. 38 degrees. They're having an awful hurricane down in Jamaica. I watched a couple minutes this morning before I left the house, and I don't know if maybe it's just hitting today sometime. They had like a camera shot downtown someplace, and it was raining and looked kind of windy, but it didn't look horrific. And I believe they're expecting it to become horrific. But we'll see what happens with that. Alrighty, so it's 6 o'clock, Tuesday morning. After my drive this morning, I have to go to my annual physical. So I'm going to live stream that. No, I'm kidding. Yesterday afternoon, I think I was talking about it in the morning, but I got online and I was looking at I have a Starlink now. I have it. I'm not using it today because yesterday it sits in the dash, and I don't think I really have adequate reception. I mean, at certain angles I do. So it's not awful, but it breaks up, and when it drops, it just completely drops. It's gone, and it looks like what happens is the video and everything just stops. I don't know what that looks like when it's happening curious to know what it looks like on the viewers, and I can't really tell when it happens. I mean, for starters, I'm not looking at the details on the camera on the phone, but so I can't really tell when it happens. Sometimes I can tell when it's reconnecting. Whoa. Sometimes I can tell when it's reconnecting because, like in my peripheral vision, I see that little circle on the screen. It's a big circle, actually. So I know it's coming back. What I don't know is when it does that, like how long it was off or unconnected. So anyway, all of that is like, it's not really, I mean, the video and the audio gets a little crappy with the cell connection, but I can do that for a couple more days. And then we've got the Starlink. Yesterday, I purchased the mount to put it on top. It's magnets. It's suction cups and magnets. For some reason, I trust. I have better trust in magnets than I do suction cups. Although they've come a long way. Suction cups have come a long way. But so I have that. I also have a battery pack. So I'm going to try it on the roof of the van with the battery pack attached to it and see what happens. That way I don't have to worry about the cord coming into the car and all that kind of stuff. Close to Halloween. It's coming up soon. Here's that guy's house. Let's see this. Let's see if there's anything new. A lot of stuff out there. The skeletons. This guy's like, this person's thinking I should have turned before this guy. So I'm looking for it. So I'm supposed to be delivered. This is the Starlink accessories. It's supposed to be delivered tomorrow, Wednesday. And so I'll play around with it on Wednesday. Well, it might not come till Wednesday. But I'll probably play around with it mostly on Thursday. I'm not going to be driving on Thursday, so I can kind of spend the day kind of playing around with that. Today is the 10th. Actually, it's probably really the 11th or 12th because a couple days I didn't save the videos. There were problems with the videos. I was watching the truck driver, Bobby, who has there are a couple that do this, but Bobby's the one I'm watching the most, that, videotapes his whole ride. He's the one where he's got the people talking to him and stuff. And he was driving, I think his route yesterday was from Idaho to Washington State. And he, like when I first looked, I just jumped into his live stream a couple times. And the first time I was looking at it, it was a beautiful day. He's driving along, super sunny. Everything's, green and pretty. And so I watched for a few minutes and I went on to do something else. A couple hours later, I went back and looked, and he was pulling into a rest area. Or no, wait a minute. That wasn't the rest area. He pulled into the rest area when I was watching him in the sunny spot. When he went back a couple hours later, and he was going into what's it called, Pilot, one of those truck stop type places to fuel up, and it was raining, and it was a super yucky day, and it looked great. I mean, it was like a totally different day. And then, so that's kind of cool. I think I put it in the chat, even something like, what happened to the sun. But then went back maybe an hour, 2 hours after that. Totally beautiful, sunny again. So it's kind of cool how, being on the road like that, he probably drives through all kinds of traffic and just all kinds of weather. And just so much that you can kind of experience in one day. I still don't think I could do it. There's a lady out there too that shares videos. Now, I don't think she live streams. I forget what the name of her site is. Bobby's, by the way, is I think his channel is called Ride Along Gang, I think. I don't remember the ladies. I know the lady I saw one time, and I think she just posts videos. I don't think she does it live. She rides along with a dog named Teddy, and she just sort of talks about, she's picking up this load. A lot of times she's in the cab talking, and so she's got the camera on herself while she's not driving at the time. She seems very nice. It's interesting what's out there. I watched her the other day, and she was sitting in the cab with Teddy. By the way, Teddy got sick. He got a parasite or something. You get all involved in this stuff. But she, probably for 10 or 15 minutes, she was talking, and she was explaining how concerned she was because she's seen, and really she has seen this happening over the course of, I'll try this straight while we're here. She's seen this happening over the course of the past years. I think she said, 5, 6 years or whatever. But there's she just sees a ton of truck drivers that are, they're not American citizens, and they don't speak or read English. She's very concerned about it. She was explaining some of the difficulties. You pull in and they're even at a way station, things, people really holds things up because you're asking questions about what's in your truck, blah blah blah, and all that kind of stuff, and just the general communication takes forever. And of course, if you think about about it, I mean, the way she put it really made you think. She said, I can't imagine going to another country. Like, let's say you just plopped me in Spain or Germany or someplace where I couldn't speak the language. I don't understand. I can't understand it. I can't speak it. I can't read it. And I'm sitting in a car, much less a truck. You know, it's trying to read road signs and understand what's going on. I don't know how people, I don't know how people do that. But she did say, though, that recently, now she put this video out maybe a week ago, sometime last week, and she said that she has noticed a dramatic decline since, I guess they've been starting to stop drugs and do more inspections and stuff. And I know that heated up because there have been some accidents where they're not really driving very well, but she was very concerned about it. And she said that she had noticed, and she's talked to other drivers that have noticed the same thing, where you know, in the cab of trucks, I don't think all of them have it, but they can, because they sleep in their trucks a lot of times. And so they have curtains that kind of pull from the back, from just behind the driver, around the windshield, and then on the passenger side, the same thing. It comes up from behind the passenger, and then up, and I guess they meet in the middle of the windshield, right? So if you're going to sleep in your cab overnight, people, some drivers just want to block off the light that comes in from the parking lot and all that stuff. So she said she's noticed, especially when they started, you know, paying more attention and pulling people over, that they're driving with the curtains pulled up alongside of their head, right? They can still, apparently she thinks they can still see their rearview mirror, but when you drive past them, you can't see inside. You know, when you look up or over, you don't see anybody because the curtain is like pulled up as far as it can go. It stops just before where they can see the mirror. So anyway, I thought that was interesting. She was sharing her concerns over that, but she did say she's seen recently a, you know, like drastic cut sightings of that type of driver. So I don't know if they're not on the road or they're just better at staying kind of behind the scenes. I think I'm also going to figure out a way to, because with this magnet connection for the phone camera, I might figure out a way to, like, at least, you know, show a little bit more, take the camera off and show you what the van looks like, and maybe when I'm making a delivery. I don't think I should take the camera into the places where I'm making deliveries. I'm not going to do that, but could at least give you a little bit more view. I've got like a little tripod thing, but maybe I'll look for one of those that's a magnet also. So I can just pop the magnet off here and pop it on because the tripod I have is one of those type that grips the camera or the phone on the sides. But you have to kind of like pull that out. You know, if I'm describing that right, but it's sort of like it's together. It's very tightly together by a spring. It's holding it tight so that it holds the phone in place. So you have to kind of like stretch it, put your phone in it, and then let it squeeze the foam. That's the way the one I have is. Then you got the kind that have the little clicky thing. I don't know. I am going to stop at Walmart today. If I have time. I know I'll have time. I should be done this delivery by a little after 7, quarter after 7, 7:30 at the latest. It won't be 7:30. It'll be like closer to quarter after 7. But I don't have to be at my doctor's appointment until 10:15, and that's in Towson. So I've got plenty of time. What I'm trying to figure out is, I know I can stop at Walmart. I'm probably stopping at breakfast somewhere if I wanted, but I'm not. But I could maybe stop at home. I don't know. Figure that out. I don't like getting to the medical center and then, because it's in Towson. I don't like getting there and having to wait a long time. One time, for a doctor's appointment, I got to the appointment, 45 minutes, an hour early. So I thought, all right, I'll just grab a cup of coffee, and I was just reading for a little bit. And when they took my blood, whenever you go to the doctor, they take your blood pressure and your temperature and all that stuff. Well, they took my blood pressure, and it was much higher than usual. And I was like, everybody was like, are you, what's going on? I said, I take my own blood pressures occasionally just to check it, and it's been fine. So, usually it's on the low side, actually. So I was like, I don't know. It's kind of weird. Maybe I'm stressed out and I don't even know it. But I really wasn't. I didn't think I was. But of course, it was probably because I drank all that coffee. It was probably all hyped up. I guess that could happen. So I'm not going to do that. But if I stop at home, then I'll get AJ all excited. He'll think I'm home for the day. He's going to get, let's play ball, throw the ball around. And if I sit down, he'll be sitting there like, oh, this is great. Greg's going to be here all day, and then I'll leave again. It's going to throw him all off. I don't think I said, maybe it happened before I started doing these videos. The other day, I baked a sweet potato, just one. And, because I only had one. I usually like to do a couple at a time, and that way I have supply for the week if I want to. I usually only eat like half of one, like a whole potato, the whole sweet potato. I usually cut it in half and eat it. So I baked one. I'm like, all right, I'm going to go ahead and do this. I don't have to waste what I'm doing anyway. So I baked the sweet potato, let it cool for a few minutes or whatever, and then I cut off like one end of it, and just to snack on it. And I think I went downstairs and just sort of like, I don't know if I was doing something with laundry or something. I came back and it was gone. And I did have the door cracked open to the outside so that AJ could go out. So I look outside and he's like at the end of the driveway. And I know that that's probably where he ate the sweet potato. The whole thing. Well, I mean maybe 3/4. I did get at least a bite out of it. A chunk of the bottom. I think it's pretty good for him though, so there's that. Save me some calories maybe, but yeah. And for those of you that have dogs, you know that look that you get. Like, you don't even have to yell. I never yell. I never yell at AJ, ever. I think I can say that with So yeah, I never yell at AJ. All I have to do is look at it, and he can tell. He's very, he picks up on that, and he gets that look, and then, yeah, he's pretty good about that. Actually, I have to be careful around, because sometimes something will frustrate me, like, I don't know, the Wi-Fi will go out or something. Like, I had a couple days where the electricity was acting funny. I think of not a breaker. Is that what they're called? Breakers. If it's like or a transformer, something outside blew up. I mean, I heard it. Something somewhere in the neighborhood, and the power went out, and then it came back on. And I had a whole situation going on with that. But so there were a few things I was trying to do, and they weren't working right. Like I was trying to get my Wi-Fi to work, and it really was the internet, not the, so my route is, anyway, you don't need to know all those details, but the point is, the minute that I get any kind of stress, and I'm a pretty low-key person, but he senses it immediately. I mean, it's crazy. I look at him, and he's like, he has that worried look. I'm like, oh, why are you upset? And I don't even say anything, or all I'm really doing, I mean, it's almost like he can tell. He picks it up. Just from my vibes. He's got the vibes. All right. Delivery of the day. You think they heard? Think they saw me? It's been working lately. They've come to the door. If I get the Starlink to work properly, then what's going to happen is it'll just be sitting on the top of the van as I drive along. But outside of that, I don't have all the stuff. Like, not that it's a lot, but you got to put the thing on the dash and blah, blah, blah. Okay, I don't think they're coming. All right, let me call these people. So, boom, 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 boom. We're back. We're back. We're back. Okay. There we go. There we go. See, I could take the camera, put you somewhere back here. You'd be right there. You'd be right in the action. You know what I mean? You can see the donuts. It's going to make you hungry. Renaissance. Trays! We got trays. Maybe I could get something like I could attach you to my shirt and then just you would look like a point of view. POV. POV! Okay. Let's get this fan cranked up. Just turn it around. I like it with the logo showing up right there. Yeah. Okay. Now, when I go to Walmart today, what I'm going to buy is another one of these. I like this phone holder. I want one for my car. And the cool thing is, if I get one for my car, I will have another magnet that I can put on the back of my phone. Hold on, dog. So that'll solve my issue with I didn't put the magnet in the right place on this phone. Here's the thing to be aware of is if you buy one of these things and you're placing it's a suction cup to the window and then it attaches to your phone with a magnet, and if you get one, think about placing the magnet on your phone, get it as close to the center of your phone. I put it on the case. I have a case around my phone, so it's not actually on my phone, but when you stick it on there, my mistake was that I put it a little bit lower, because you've got, if you look at a camera, you've got the lenses in the upper, if you're looking at it, their lens is usually the upper left-hand corner. I guess some might be the right, but anyway. And then, I've got a Samsung, by the way, so. And then, below that, I just put it like in the middle of that section below, which means that I was not in the center of the phone, I was closer to the bottom of the phone. Not by a lot, but enough that when I attach it, I'm not worried about it falling off, but it has enough give, right, that like the vibration of the car makes the heavier side of the phone kind of tilt down a little bit, doesn't give you a flat. Like I think it's tilting down a little bit now. Because it's not in the center exactly. So it's got to be in the center. You got to balance it out. Maybe I'll get that. Have you ever sharpened a lawnmower blade? Anybody ever done that? If you have, you know that after you sharpen it, you're supposed to make sure that it's balanced. Which I do. However, I've heard people say that that's really not necessary, but it kind of makes sense that you balance tires, anything that's. Probably around the same time I'm usually on this road. Because I was going to say the traffic does look heavier today than some days, but it's about the same time usually. Because today we didn't have the first location that I usually go to. It's 5 days a week I go to that. That's right. Tuesdays and Sundays I do not make that one. The first route. So that's why I start a little bit later. And it puts me back on this road around the same time. And traffic going the other way is definitely steady. It's not slow. But it's a steady stream. Gas today. Maybe more. Tomorrow, gas. It's amazing to me in the bakery how much stuff they sell. It's mind-boggling sometimes how much is being made and sold. It's just a nice bakery in this small town north of Baltimore. Carroll, Canada. I've got to get my car. Got to get it in the shop. Got to get some maintenance on it. It's been a while. And I've been ignoring the little, sometimes you get those signals on your car, it's time for a service. Yeah. backup. I should do the same thing for my car. Started actually going to the doctor every year. I don't think I know I didn't do this when I was like in my 20s, probably in my 30s. I don't remember doing it every year. You know, like, I think I just started at some point in my 40s, maybe? Sure, when I'm there, they're going to want to give me my shots. I never took, like, I would always say when they're like, hey, do you want your flu shot? I'd always say no. I'm still not a big fan. I don't know what they're doing about COVID anymore. I have done that. I don't do that anymore. Like, I'm just so over COVID, I don't even think of that anymore. But they still ask you all those questions, you know, like, have you been out of the country? Have you been around anybody that was sick? Like, when are we going to stop asking those questions? Maybe never. It's like all rules, you know, like once they start, they never stop. They just keep piling on top. This coming Saturday, I have a later in the day, like, so not later, but later, not late in the day, but later for me. So I'll have my normal deliveries Saturday morning, and then I don't know what time I'll leave. I think they're expecting the delivery to be made like early afternoon. It's about, I think it's at an hour and 45 minutes, so let's just say 2 hours. It's about 2 hours away. So, you know, if I leave at 9 or 10, I don't want to be too late. Alright, so if I leave at 9 or 10, get there by noon-ish, make the delivery and then leave, I can be done by 2:30. That would be ideal if I could deliver that early. So I'm going to check that out. I'll ask Jennifer. I think noon is a good time to shoot for. I mean, I don't want to be too crazy early, but for them, from their perspective, but we'll see. So I'll probably try to do some of that. I'll probably tape some. Since it's not a business establishment. Probably, I'll probably cut off the video before I actually read through it because I don't want to be conscious of people's privacy. With Halloween being on Friday, okay, do you think that the haunted houses that people have set up, do you think that their busiest weekend was this past weekend? Or will it be this coming weekend? What do you think? Like, I don't know. I mean, is Halloween... consider it over when it's over, like some holidays. Like I would say holidays like Christmas, Thanksgiving, they're all kind of the lead up to, right? And people afterwards, you're kind of like, just enjoy it. You know, but if you think about it, like shopping for Christmas or things like that, those days are all, you know, it's done. New Year's. I think Christmas and New Year's, are they on a Wednesday this year? It's always on the same day of the week that my birthday was. I think my birthday was on Wednesday this year. So, that's interesting. So that whole week will be a complete waste, right? Like nobody's going to work that week. It's right in the middle of the week. Yeah, that's going to be... quiet week. See what the gas is when we drive by. Whiz! Back up, right? Was it a little lower than that? Son of a gun. Still pretty good. I saw them reporting about gas prices the other day, and they were all excited because it was below $3. And here in Maryland, like there are still stations, like, well, the highs that we go by at the in Eldersburg is 305, so it's still hovering around 3, but I'm seeing more prices in the 20s, in the low 2s, the high 2s. We'll get this right. one funny thing, a lot of the people I've seen talking about the Starlink connection and all that, and it's funny because you've got some people, and I've seen these truck drivers are on highways, so you don't have like this road here with the trees on all sides. You don't have this so much on the highway, so that's a big difference. But it's funny because people are showing you that they go into the woods, they're like camping, traveling around, doing stuff like that, and they take they set up their Starlink. By the way, whenever I say it's Starlink, it's the Starlink Mini. It's the smaller unit that I'm talking about. So they set up their Starlink like next to their campsite, right? And depending, if they're like camped in the middle of the woods, then they try to look for a spot that's got sort of a clearing. They set it up, but keep in mind, you've got to be. It's basically like, geez, that truck was on my side. It's basically like your router, right? That's what it is. So it's getting the information from the satellite, and then I'm going to stop talking for a minute because this, I know with the phone line, this goes bad. So I'll be back after this brief interruption. Okay, we're probably back by now. Just be thankful that you're not in the van with me right now, because there's apparently a dead skunk back there somewhere. We're getting that scent pretty strong. But they set up the Starlink in a clearing. If they're in the middle of some woods, they apparently have a difficult time connecting because you need a clear view of the sky. Although I think if you have, it weakens the signal at some point, and then at another point it completely cuts it out. So I don't think I'm ever going to be able to have like a perfectly clear video the entire time because there's parts of the route are covered with trees. I think I just have to like settle on the fact that there's going to be some sections where the video breaks up a little bit. I'll just get used to where that is and then avoid talking during those moments. But yeah, so you see them spending all this effort getting just the right location, and then, but it's also got to be powered because it needs a cord, or like what I'm getting. I'll show it to you when I get it. But what I'm getting is this power pack, and they sell a few of them, but the one I'm getting seems to be a really pretty good one. It kind of fits right into the unit. But yeah, so it's funny because they're doing all this, and I'm thinking I'm just going to throw this thing on top of my van and hope for the best. But that's what people do. So, and then because some people say you have to angle it just right to get the right. I mean, maybe they're trying to get the maximum speeds. I need the maximum speeds. I need a decent. But I don't need, it's not like I am doing actual, I guess live streaming is taxing on it, but it uses a lot of bandwidth, but I don't know if it's, I don't know what else you could do that would be worse. quantum physics. Say this. So I bought my accessories yesterday. I had, I already have the Starlink, obviously, so I got everything else to go with it. Now, the place that I bought my accessories also sell the Starlink. Because they've got that set up with SpaceX. But the service is unbelievably good. So here's what happens. Go online. I'd already done all the kind of research that I wanted to do on it, and all the cows are down today. All the cows are sleeping. I'd already done all the research that I wanted to do, so I knew what I wanted. I get online, and it is Veritas Vans. I think that's how you say it. Veritas Vans. And so it's an existing company, U.S. company, and they've always made things for your van, obviously. But now they've gotten into this whole Starlink thing, and they are amazing. I mean, they're fantastic. You probably can't hear anything I'm saying, so I'll probably repeat this at another time. But they got the whole package, and I wasn't sure. I had a question to make sure I was buying the right thing, because I'm putting a couple of pieces together to make what I want, and I wasn't 100% sure that I was picking the right thing. So I called a couple times. I called once, it went to a voicemail, so I hang up. That's my first reaction whenever I get that. Then I called again. I think I did that twice and got so they were, you get the recording that says we're helping other customers. We'll be, leave us your number, we'll call you right back. Now if I'm not really into it, I don't usually leave my number. I'm like one of those people, like if I can't get a hold of you right away, I usually don't do it. But I'm like, so I left my number, and within 2 minutes they called me back. It's a lady named Grace. I think it's spotty coverage right here. Spotty coverage. So Grace calls me back. She couldn't be nicer. Answered all my questions. And I was online. I mean, I looked all through their website, and I looked at they put YouTube videos, little clips out there to show you about their product, to tell you about their products and show you how to use some of them. But the clips that I could find didn't answer the questions. They weren't 100%. It's not a cheap product, so I didn't want to buy it if it wasn't the right thing. But they were fantastic, I have to say. Veritas Vans is a good place. We are back 5 after 7. Laughing. All right, everybody. Another day in the history books. So See you tomorrow. Normal time's 5. And probably still be with the phone tomorrow. I don't know. I'm not sure what I'm going to do today or tomorrow. I won't have the roof rack yet, but I don't know. Play it by ear. Have a great day, everybody. Talk to you later. Bye-bye now.